We're living in really crazy times. Nobody knows exactly what the heck is going on. And I know it's so easy to get distracted by life, by social media, friends, family, anything really outside of ourselves. And we've all fallen victim to scrolling too much, putting our focuses on things that we really can't control. And I know as humans, it's almost like built into us to want to be up to date on every single little thing, whether it's in the news or what's happening in current events or celebrities and what's happening in their lives or our friends. And, a long time ago before Instagram had the stories feature, we couldn't really see what was happening every second of everybody's day unless they posted it on their physical feed. But then they added the story. And then from that came so many other, additions across different platforms. And now it's like every second of every day, we can see exactly what people are doing in real time. And I think there's beauty in that. But for me, I found myself in the past week or so, I was getting very caught up into what was happening in the world. It was consuming all of my attention, and it really took a day of like, Anton, what are you doing? What are you doing? You cannot control any of this. Yes, it's good to be informed, but should this be capturing all your attention, your focus, pulling you away from what actually matters? My own inner joy, my own inner bliss, my own inner happiness, my own business, my own life, my own relationships? Absolutely not. You can only control yourself. You cannot control what anybody else does. You may be able to influence it, manipulate it, but you cannot control other things outside of you. So I had this realization of and I do this very often, I need to get off of social media. Me and my girlfriend, we have a challenge with each other. It's really fun. We've been doing it for quite some time now where we can only spend 15 minutes a day on Instagram. And we create these little goals. And if we do it, we reward ourselves. And we've been very consecutive for, I don't even know, maybe 5-6 months at this point. And it's an amazing thing to do. It helps us, hone in on our focus and hone in on ourselves. But so many people, they don't have that discipline. And what was happening to me was I consume a lot of content via Twitter because I do a lot of investing, and there's people on there who in real time are telling you good trades and different things to do. And I'm always trying to stay on top there, but I found myself slipping into things that I really have never been interested in. And it was just capturing all my attention, and I was getting, down these rabbit holes that weren't feeding my soul. Like, yes, I think it's good to have perspective and awareness, but at the end of the day, there has to be a point where you draw the line in the sand. People don't realize, they wonder why they have so much anxiety, fear, depression, scarcity, just lack consciousness around life, and they're pessimistic and they're negative and they're all these things. We are what we consume. It's just like food. If you eat good foods, you're going to be healthy. It's pretty simple. If you consume negativity and conspiracy theories and all these different things 24/7, you're going to not feel good. And that's exactly what I believe the system wants us to do. And our brain is designed to help us survive. So it's going to look for the threats. And maybe that's why we do this. Maybe we're constantly want to be, up to date because we want to know exactly what we need to do in case something happens, or I don't know. And that's just our brain trying to protect us. But what if we could actually get more benefit by disciplining ourselves to unplug, by disciplining ourselves to go within? So what I did, I hit this breaking point, and I woke up. I typically wake up around 5 o'clock in the morning. I've been doing that very consistently for almost a year now. But I'll go through these phases where I just feel very tired and I have to sleep in until 6:30, 7 sometimes, making excuses for myself. I'm pretty hard on myself, as you guys will learn, but I do a lot of things in a day. There's so many different areas and chunks I need to focus on in order to have a successful, productive day, from, the 3 different, businesses I run. I guess I look at investing as a business. I have 2 businesses, one with, my social media company, and then one with my girlfriend where we do breath work and other things. And then I have investing, and 2020 and now 2021 has a lot of my energy and focus has gone into the investing, because there's amazing things happening in the market. So I, do a lot in a day, and I was getting bombarded with losing my own will and my own discipline and just scrolling for long periods of time. And like I said, I hit this breaking point. I woke up, I went to the beach, and I just walked, and I looked out at the water. Didn't have my phone on me. I just simply walked. I listened to the waves. I actually, I was before I was leaving my house, I was like, oh, I'm going to bring my meditation pillow, and I'm just going to sit and, breathe on the beach and look at the water. But I forgot the pillow. It's, hence to show you where my mind was at. It's just all over the place. And then I realized, wow, it was a really big blessing that I didn't bring that pillow, because it gave me the beauty and the awe of just walking and feeling the wind on my face and looking at all the happy people. Yes, they were all happy. And, because it was a reflection of my state and where I was at, where I was feeling my energy shift from kind of this, scattered, there's a book called Outwitting the Devil, and Napoleon Hill says drifters, those who really have no focus in life, they're kind of just drifting with the wind. The media tells them one thing, they go that way. Their friends tell them one thing, they go that way. They don't have a center. They're just drifting back and forth, and they lose themselves in this matrix, so to speak. And I felt like I was doing that for, a few days. And I'm at this beach, and I'm walking, and I'm just seeing everybody, and I'm seeing, it was a cloudy day, but there was still beauty. I could see the fog over the mountains and just the waves crashing, and seeing the patterns of nature and the water, rippling, and putting my feet in the water and feeling the sand and feeling the cold water on my feet. And I was just breathing. And then I, sat there and did some Tai Chi and just was being so present. I just wanted to feel. I just wanted to be. I didn't go there with an agenda. All I knew is I'm, gonna go to the beach. And then I was just so present, and I was like laughing, because I was like, wow, we forget that's the great, interesting part of life. We're these humans, and there's so much capacity to our potential, but it's like sometimes we can get so off track and get so on track. And it's almost like a switch. I don't know if you can relate to this. For me, like, I feel like I can turn it on or I can turn it off. But the way I turn it on is by disciplining myself to do the things I know will help me. Meditation, breath work, exercise, sauna, running, listening to an uplifting podcast or something of that nature. And I do those things pretty much every day. But if you just do those things, and then when you're not doing those things, go right back into your bad habits, it's not going to serve you. You're not reaping the rewards from those, disciplines you did in the morning, so to speak, or in the day, or whatever it was. But so, back to this story, really what it did for me is it just allowed me to be. It showed me like, oh my gosh, I read about and I consume this stuff, and I teach it as well at 24/7. Like, where we put our focus is where we put our energy. So if we're focusing on things we can't control, we're going to be pretty freaking miserable, because you can't control it. You can't do anything about it. So you're just kind of have to, discipline your perspective to see it for what it is, or, see it for better than it is, or see it worse than it is. And we really have the choice in those moments. But if our center is off, we're always going to see it worse than it is. If we're not like sculpting our being, we're always going to feel like shit. That's just how it works. So the reason I wanted to make this podcast today and why I was feeling inspired, I just had such an amazing day today, and I feel like I was a little off track. And maybe you can relate to this, because 2021, I feel like a lot of people do this every year. They put so much pressure on themselves, and a lot of people set very unrealistic goals, and then a month in, they realize they're not on track to their goals, then they beat themselves up, and then they're right back to their old habits, behaviors of 2020. So I want to help you avoid that. And me and my girlfriend always talk about this, and I'm kind of old school sometimes in my thinking. I'm a very principled person. I really believe that wisdom is timeless, and I believe some of the wisest people say the littlest words, because it's really simple. And we actually have a picture here in my office, our office, and it says the answer is simple. And there's all these equations all around it, these mathematical formulas, all this crazy stuff. And the reason that's there is because people overcomplicate happiness. People overcomplicate success. People overcomplicate wealth. People overcomplicate fulfillment. It's really simple. We have to be progressing. And it doesn't have to be major progress. Again, like I was saying, so many people set these massive goals. They can never reach those goals. They're so unrealistic. And when they fall short, they start beating themselves up, and then boom, right back to the old ways. So the way I've built my entire life, I've had, friend groups I was with when I was younger. We were all doing the same thing, all consuming the same information, learning from the same teachers, in the same freaking business. Why did some people succeed massively and other ones didn't? It wasn't because other ones were smarter. They were listening to the same stuff, like literally. We all listened to the same people. We all consumed the same information. We had the same product, same service, same everything. The only difference between what I found myself from other people is I stayed consistent. I just did the little things every day. At that time, it was calls, meetings, feeding my mind with the right things every day, and just not overwhelming myself. Then there was another guy who, he's like, I'm going to do it. Today I'm going to do 10 things. And then boom, 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 boom. He does those 10 things in a week. He only does it one day out of the week. And then, maybe he skips the next week. But me, on the other hand, I'm just doing one little thing every single day. And this guy did one big thing one day. He hit 10, but in 2 weeks I hit 14, because I'm also doing Saturday and Sunday. Well, if you do the math, you could see the person who's just doing the small things consistently will win. It's like that in life. It's like that in business. It's like that with your mental health. If you want to be healthy in your mind, you should probably meditate every day. It doesn't have to be something extreme. There was a point I was so obsessed with meditation. I literally would do it 2 hours every single day for 2 years straight. I shit you not. Every single day. I was like clockwork, man. And I had some of the most amazing, profound experiences of realizing how deep I can go within myself with no drugs, with no anything other than disciplining myself to do it. And as I've grown, I've realized I don't necessarily have to do it that long anymore, because what I used to be able to achieve in 2 hours, I can get there now in 20 minutes, which is an amazing thing because I got better. But that's the beauty of discipline. If you look at the power of the compound effect, your life will never be the same. And if you look at your life as a compound effect instead of some like sprint, and you look at it as a marathon instead of a sprint, you're going to realize, wow, it's not that complicated. But here's the thing, you have to have patience because your results aren't going to happen overnight. So you have to do the little things daily. Again, I'm going to say it again. If you want to be healthy in your mind, you should meditate. You should probably read and consume good information, or listen to good information, or do both because it feeds different parts of your brain. You should exercise, and you should eat right. Let's be healthy. It's not that complex. To be successful in business, I believe it's 95% mindset. So if you don't have a good mindset, you're not going to be able to see the opportunities. You're not going to create the opportunities because you don't believe in your potential. So you'll never take massive action. Therefore, you'll never get good results. So you have to start with the mindset, because if you don't have the mindset, you won't see the potential. You won't even know it's there because you won't believe. And if you don't believe, you won't do shit. It's just the truth. So the difference between myself and some of my friends from when I was young wasn't anything magical, wasn't anything mystical. It was simply I was doing the work day in and day out. 3 months in, I was still just doing a little bit every day. They were doing it once a week. You do the math. 10 months in, you see the massive separation. And that's how it goes in life. I know I'm sounding redundant, but I really want this to sink in. If you double a penny every single day for 30 days, by the end of 30 days, it becomes blank. I'm not going to say it yet. So if I were to just tell you, hey, Bob, would you rather me give you $10,000 a week for a year, or would you rather me just give you 1 penny doubled every single day for 30 days? The obvious answer is, I'm going to take the 10K. If you just didn't think about it, be like, obviously, yeah, I'm going to take that 10K. Well, here's the thing. 10K a week is nearly $500,000, $520K. Okay? Well, the power of the compound effect, and this is a symbol for your life. This is a symbol for your soul to evolve to who you're meant to be. 1 day, 1 penny. Day 2, 2 pennies. Day 3, 4 pennies. Day 4, 8 pennies. 16, 32, 64. Okay, at day 7, you're at 64 cents. Got to double that. You become $1 now, $1.28. Well, let's fast forward. To day 15, you're up to $163. Day 17, $655. And by day 30, literally, well, let's do this. By day 20, you're up to a little over 5K. Day 21, almost 10.5K. Day 22, nearly 21K. And then you fast forward to day 30, you get to almost $5.4 million. $5.4 million. This is the great secret of successful people. This is the great secret of life. We live in this social media realm now where like the whole entire world revolves around social media, I feel like sometimes. And it's tricking you. It's tricking you to forget the principles of true success. It's tricking you to forget the essence of what it actually takes to build a business that will pay you for life. It's tricking you to know what it truly takes to become who you're meant to be. Because there's all this BS out there telling you it's really simple and all you have to do is X, Y, and D. X, Y, and Z. But it's not. It's not how it works. I'm sorry. This is just the truth. You have to do the things consistently, day in and day out. If you want to be healthy, you have to show up every day for your health. And you will see, not right away. Remember, 31 days are 30 days. Day 2, you're only at 2 cents. Day 30, you're over $5 million. And obviously, the 30 days is just a symbol for 30 years almost, if you want to look at it like that. You're not going to become successful overnight. It's just not how it works. It was the old saying, it took 10 years to become an overnight success, or it took 50 years to become an overnight success. And that's just the truth. So people say, okay, well, what do I do? I don't know what to do. Where do I start? Here's where you can start. Start waking up an hour earlier. You don't have to be crazy like me and do 5 a.m., but just discipline yourself to simply wake up 1 hour earlier. Then discipline yourself to read a book. You don't know what to read? I'll give you a great book. 5 a.m. Club. It's a book that talks about the power of your morning. It's a great story. It really is. It's one of my favorite books, and I love Robin Sharma, the author. Super amazing dude. Check it out. And here's the difference. Some people, they'll hear this. This is the rare few, maybe the 1% of people who will listen to this. They're going to hear that. They're going to say, oh, I never heard of that book. I'm going to buy it. They buy it today. They don't wait. They buy it right now. Why would they wait? Then there's another person like, oh yeah, I'll do that. Never buy it. Forget about this whole thing in 2 days, maybe less. That's the difference. It's small little things. So if you want 2021 to be a really good year for you, a year that's vastly different from 2020, it's going to start in developing some stronger habits. So many people, they're like, I don't know what I want to do. The reason they say that is because their mindset's broken. They don't know who they are because they're not even becoming who they're supposed to be. They're not freeing their souls to the truth of their higher self. They're getting consumed by what's happening in this world, and it's pulling them left and right, like I said earlier, like a drifter. And I've had experiences of that where I'm like, I go a couple days and then my center comes out like, dude, what are you doing? And then I'm like, oh my God, people live their whole life like this. I'm so grateful I know what I know. I don't know everything. I know, very little, but what I do know is you have to protect your mind. You have to protect your focus. You can have the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. We get to decide. You don't want to be 60, 70, 80 years old in regret that you didn't do these little disciplines. Because most people, this is what they say, I'll start tomorrow. 6 p.m. comes around, they get motivated, I'll start tomorrow. They wake up the next day, they don't feel motivated. 6 p.m. comes again, 7 p.m., they get a little boost of inspiration, I'll start tomorrow. Same cycle for years on end. People live in this. They go, I'm going to start that new hobby tomorrow. No. If you're going to start that new hobby, go start reading the book tonight. Go work out tonight. Go eat healthy tonight. Go meditate tonight. Go do breath work tonight. It doesn't have to be rocket science, but people overcomplicate this shit because there's so many people that believe there's so many, like success is some magical, crazy formula and you have to do all these crazy things to attain it. It's not true. I've done it. I don't know what to say. Like, I hate boosting about my ego, but this is sometimes I feel the only way I can communicate to people. It's like, dude, no, like I'm doing it. I'm in the top 0.00001% of my age bracket in what I'm doing, and what I'm creating, and my, the success in today's age. A lot of it is, measured by material wealth. And the reason that isn't because I'm so smart. I'm actually not that smart. I barely passed high school by choice. Like, I just didn't care. It's not that I was trying hard and was failing. It's just I didn't care because I knew where I was going. I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. I just knew it. And that's because at an early age, I was able to get my mind, the right information that changed me forever because I saw there was more. I saw, the traditional system of college and this and that, it doesn't work for everybody. Actually, most very successful people, statistically, not all of them went to college. Most of them didn't. So there's that. But the difference is I simply just stayed consistent for 5, 10 plus years, every single day, consuming the right things, consuming positive things, consuming things that would question what I believe about life. Because our beliefs are like glasses we wear, and they put a lens over what we see. That's how it works. It is neurochemical. I mean, we don't see reality as it is. We see it as we are. And that is the freaking truth. And I can tell you, when I left my house and I was all upset because I was so drowning in all this social media BS and all these distractions, when I was driving to the beach, I was freaking miserable. It was like this cloud was over me and I wasn't able to see straight. And what I was seeing as I was driving through Santa Monica and Venice, California, and I was just like, this is like really crappy. I was seeing, sad people and homeless people, and everyone looked so upset, and the It even looked duller outside. Like the colors just looked kind of ugly, and it was cloudy, and it just seemed like a really bad day. It just seemed really negative, and nothing looked good. Everywhere I looked, it was like I saw sad people and people frustrated and annoyed and this and that. And it was like, wow, this really is horrible. It was confirming what I was internally feeling, pushing me further down. Yeah, see, this is the truth. Yeah, see, this is how it really is. Confirmation bias. Then I get to the beach. I do my little energy stuff. I go for a walk. I feel life. I feel the ocean, everything. I just I breathe. I don't take my freaking phone. Just present. And then all of a sudden, something in me shifted. It was like this most subtle little shift. I'm like, wait, I get to control what I feel. I get to control what I focus on. Today I'm going to be happy. Today I'm going to choose to look at life differently than I have the past 48 hours. You know, it's not that bad. It's actually really good. I'm so blessed. Look at, I get to walk. There's people who are paralyzed. I get to breathe and feel. I live in one of the best countries in the world. And then all of a sudden, this is a true story. I was sitting there, not sitting. I was just standing there looking out into the ocean, and I just was looking out, just so present and happy. And this lady came up to me, and she was like, I really love your shirt. All it says is be better, do better. That's all and that was just such a synchronicity for me from the universe to be like, see what happens when you take control of your focus, take control of your life. And for everybody listening, I promise you, this is how it works. It sounds so simple. It's simple in theory, a little bit difficult in execution, because you have to decide to go against all your hardwired limiting beliefs about this freaking life, that it's so bad, that it's this, that it's that. It's not true. It is what you believe it is. That's the facts. If you believe it's shitty, it's going to reflect to you shittiness. If you believe it's beautiful and full of awe and grace, it's going to reflect to you that. So you decide. But it takes disciplining yourself so you can unleash your true nature, which is this gratitude, this love, this beauty that is your soul. But it takes sometimes work to get there. And what it really takes is consistency to make that not something you experience once in a while, but something you experience all the time. And that's my mission in life. My literal goal, which I have on my wall right here, the purpose of my life is to live in a beautiful state in every moment. In every moment. Like, that's it. And then it says to enjoy every moment and then be a blessing in the lives of others. That is it. So let me finish the story. So, we're all hard on ourselves, I think. Most people are. Maybe you're not. I think if anybody listening to this podcast, I would have to assume you want more out of life. You want to grow. You want to expand. You want to become something. Maybe it's spirituality growth. Maybe it's business growth. I think personally they go hand in hand. So I think we all want progress. I think our soul really, really craves that. And when we do progress in the smallest areas, we feel so freaking good. So then walking down the beach, I'm finishing up. And then I just take a moment, close my eyes, and I just pray to God. And I just say a beautiful prayer. And then I asked for, a sign. And I tend to do this when, I need a little assistance. Because, like I said, I'm human. We all doubt. We all go through our days. So I closed my eyes. I prayed. And I just said, God, universe, if you hear this, if you feel this, if you see me, if you're aware of me, show me that what I'm doing is where I'm supposed to be going. Show me that you hear me. and show me in a way that will make perfect sense to me. And when I was saying this, to give you guys some very personal uh, insight on the being of Anton Wisbicki, like I was saying in the beginning, my attention is pulled in multiple different ways on a consistent basis. I have so many different things I can focus on that can, make me, financially, secure and this and that. But I don't necessarily just want financial security. I want complete abundance in my soul. I want to do what I love every single day. And I do love what I do, but I know there's more. And I want to go more into the essence of who Anton Wisbicki really is, which is why I started this podcast, because I feel I'm really here to help people expand who they are, to heal their wounds, to overcome their anxiety, to maybe succeed in business. I don't know, to heal, to just become more. And when I prayed, I asked for a sign in that direction of like, if this area of where I want to go and where I'm heading and what I'm doing every single day, if this is really where I'm supposed to be, show me. Let me know you hear me. And I shit you not, I finished that and I just walking back to my car. About maybe, I don't even know, it might not even been 5 minutes. It felt like 2 minutes. I get this text, and I'm actually going to pull it up right now. Okay. It's so weird. This is why I love the universe. It's so beautiful. I'm going to read this. I'm not going to read all of it, but I'm going to read some of it. Dude, I felt like absolute shit. My last couple days have been completely shit. I've been sitting in sorrow, but today I was like, frick that shit, man. I'm taking control. I started doing the breath work you taught me and had one of the deepest sessions I've ever had, and I feel so damn good. I feel real alive. I'm laser focused, and I feel like I got rid of so much BS. Thank you, man, for teaching me this. I really mean it when I say that. I'm getting closer to where I want to be. I hope all is well for you too, brother, and keep being dope as hell. And if you are ever stressed at all, just remember how far you've come. You are doing it all and then some. Continue being the shit, fam. I love you so much. And I just started crying. It's just grace. It's just, some people can take that as like, oh, that's just coincidental. Not to me. And that's my special moment, so you can make whatever you want of it, but I know what's true in my heart. And that's the beauty of life. I think it's okay to ask God, the universe, for some signs, Right now on the planet, it's a very chaotic time for a lot of people. We're in a pandemic. There's political unrest, racial unrest. There's just so much stuff happening. There's, just people are unhealthy. People are scared. There's so much fear. But then there's something more. To me, there's something that created this all. And I believe we all have a bigger purpose, and it's our mission to find it. It's our mission to create it. And I believe every step is assisted. But I believe if you don't practice gratitude, if you don't practice discipline, it becomes something else. If you don't practice discipline, you're going to become distracted. And that's going to pull you off course. That's going to get you away from your essence. So the message today in this podcast is simple. Discipline yourself. Remember who you are. If you don't know who you are, sculpt your being today. Protect your mind. Read the book. Start the meditation practice. Limit your time on social media. Decide to smile instead of frown. It's simply a choice. Eat healthy. Do something you never have done to get something you never have gotten. I know it seems so overly simple, but I promise you, there's a moment in your consciousness where you start to become aware of all your limiting programs, of all your limiting behaviors. And there's a moment where you have to decide to be better than that program. I have to do it every day. When that alarm clock goes off at 5 a.m., I can easily say, I don't need to be up right now. All my employees don't get into the office until like 8. I got 3 hours. But no. I decide to get up and I have to go against that. And instead, I cultivate my being. I get ready for the day. My mornings are sacred. I'm waking up as a human to experience this life. Grace, if you practice it, you receive more of it because your awareness increases. Fear, if you practice it, you receive more of it because your awareness around fear increases. So we decide. We decide. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Not the news, not some politician, not some family member, not some friend. You decide how your life goes. If you don't know where to start, like I said, start with the small things. Read the book, eat healthy, go for a run. Remember, we get to live life the way we want, but not everybody gets that choice. So you listening to this tells me you're now aware. You know better, so you will do better. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Breadcrumbs of Inspiration.